like the picture. I love the picture. The picture on the front cover of this, it's Cody Kurth, and it shows his playful nature. He's a easygoing, fun-loving guy. Just don't fuck with him or his family, you know? Not much different from me. Very diplomatic. Doesn't want problems. Doesn't want to have to fucking talk to the police. Just wants to fucking cut off the bullshit and have that be done with it. Fucking goddamn. So when I was having them problems with Chris Kurth, let me tell you how fucked up the situation was. You know, I went to a lot of people in town. You know, I went to Nicole Knudsen, and and she wasn't in town anymore, but she knew him. I tried telling her and many other people about the abuse I was enduring. Not just at the hands of Chris Kurth. I mean, he isn't going to do that by himself. Every time he come to me to threaten me, he was with somebody else. The 2 times that he wanted to threaten my life when he was hanging out with Laura Nelson. Well, not hanging out with Laura Nelson. One of them was outside of Laura Nelson's store, and the other one was right outside of my mom's at 890 1st Street, Chapel, Nebraska. She don't live there no more, though. We were right outside of there, and Laura Nelson pulled up to talk to me because she wanted to talk to me, but Chris Kurth had pulled up, and Clint Snell, sorry, I don't want to blame Clint for anything that he didn't do. Carl Snell was in the passenger seat, and he talked to me, and he was telling me about how I needed to leave town and about the people who were going to kill me, and one of the names that he dropped was Clint Snell. Well, now that was a leading remark. How many times did Chris Kurth threaten my life over the course of, well, a few years actually? See, he's one of those people who, he's a fucking dipshit. Figured he'd play on picking on me for popularity. You guys get to see, if you look, how popular it is to hate me. I went to my friends for help. I went to the cops for help. I went to the internet for help. Now, one of the most fucked up things is that the second time that Chris Kurth decided he was going to threaten my life, I was telling some folks down at Hanson's Texaco because I was hoping those people at Hanson's Texaco gave a shit and would help me turn it in. Do I remember who it was? No, but it was probably one of the Jepsons. Anyway, Cody Kurth come in, and I was talking about people fucking with me, and I was literally talking about how his brother had just threatened me the day before, and I needed to turn that shit in. Why don't you go to the cops? The cops won't fucking listen. I've tried with other people who are fucking assaulting me and threatening to kill me and fucking throwing shit at me. Like, people made my life for a whole year before Natalie was killed a living fucking hell. Now, I knew that Cody was Chris's brother. I made a bad assumption. I just assumed that because Cody was Chris's brother, that he was just going to automatically assume that I was wrong and Chris was right and be a fucking dickhead to me. So I didn't tell Cody who it was that was fucking threatening me. Because I was afraid to tell. He's a lot bigger than Chris. Even Gimpy, there's a pretty darn good chance that if Chris Kurth tried to assault me, he would probably hurt himself on me. I don't mean that I would be able to hurt him. I mean, if he tried to hurt me, he would probably end up breaking a fist or something similar. A lot of people who assaulted me in my lifetime thought they'd punch me in the nose. It's the biggest target on my whole goddamn head. If you want to hit me in the nose, you need to aim for my chin. If you aim for my chin, you'll catch me right in the top of the nose when I flinch. If you aim for my nose right here, you're going to hit me right here. If you aim for my nose right here, you're going to hit me right here. Those are both going to fucking hurt. when Chris came out and threatened me again out at Sandy Fromm's. That was what, the third, fourth time that he'd done that? By that time, I'd already made up with Carl Snell. But Chris Kurth, again, he came out with Sandy Fromm's hired farmhand. This is an American who wanted to claim to her that he was an Anzac. Do you know what an Anzac is? If you don't, you should look it up. No, Americans are not Anzacs. Anyway, because her father was in the military and because she was a severe alcoholic, he was able to dupe her. Now, of course, she said I could go out there, and finally I had a safe place. Holy shit. She said I could hang out there for a day or two and fucking recover and relax. How well did that work? It didn't. Chris Kurth showed up with Sandy Fromm's hired farmhand to threaten my life in front of Floyd Stegeman and Sandy Fromm. Now, because the police literally did everything they could to turn their eyes away from any crimes committed against me, whether it be multiple crimes by Chris Kurth, or multiple crimes by Robert Franklin Mornick, or multiple crimes by Tim Beeson, or Ted Bollinger, or Alicia Bollinger, it didn't make any difference to them. They're not going to investigate. They're not going to investigate any of the crimes committed against me by Joshua Rayborn, the child abuser, or by, of course, his girlfriend, Amy Kleina Kingery, the child abuser, both meth addicts. On my channel, I've got both of them recorded abusing each other and, of course, their drug use. So, yeah, tough breaks. Here's the thing. I understand Cody don't want to talk to the cops. A lot of people don't want to talk to the cops. They don't like talking to cops. I do understand that. I also understand that between you talking to the cops and my friends ending up dead, I don't give a shit about your pride or your belief about talking to the cops. We got to do something to stop this before more people end up corpses. What did Cody Kurth do? When I went to him for help, he told me he would talk to his brother and make him stop. After literally years of threats and harassment and intimidation by Christopher Kurth, all it took was one person who actually gave a shit to put a fucking stop to it. Well, the cops wanted to play fucking head games because they didn't want to get in trouble. Cody Kurth, all he had to do was the right thing. Fucking A. I brought it to him and he spoke up. He said he'd put a stop to it and he did. He didn't put me off for 6 years. He didn't lie to me for 6 years. He didn't pretend to be my friend and then go out of his way to do the most fucked up shit humanly possible to me. He didn't tell me that he'd call me and then ignore me for 6 fucking years while his brother kept that shit up. I made the mistake of not telling Cody about his brother literally the day after it happened.
Oh, over here.
I made this mistake of not saying, well, Cody, your brother and some guy who looks like a Frericks are picking on me. They're harassing me, they're threatening to kill me, telling me they're going to get other people to kill me, telling me that Clint Snell is one of the people that's going to kill me and run me out of town. Yep. Now, Cody Kurth didn't have to be there for all those things. He knows his brother's a fucking dipshit. Everybody knows his brother's a dipshit. Nicole Knudsen knows his brother's a dipshit. Literally everybody that I went to who I knew about Chris Kurth and his fucking harassment wanted to blow me off by saying, dude, it's fucking Chris Kurth. He's a fucking pussy. Nobody gives a shit. Chris Kurth is too much of a fucking pussy to do anything. No, he's too much of a pussy to do something by himself. But he goes spreading this slander to these people, gets them all up in arms and wanting to hurt somebody. Goes on a drunk drive across multiple jurisdictions to go to a farm outside of Lodgepole, Nebraska to try to threaten me and harass me and bully me. Now, what would have happened if Joanna Taylor Smith would have stopped her bullshit, listened to the abuse that I was enduring, like Cody Kurth did, all right? Cody Kurth listened with intent, okay? Not with intent to talk over me or give suggestions, but to offer actual and genuine help. Help that actually works. Did he say you just need to love yourself? He absolutely did not. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought he was just a big dumb Nebraskan. I'm willing to bet that his IQ is in the 140 to 160 range. I'm willing to bet Cody Kurth is highly intelligent. He's also a biker. See, while Tim Beeson wanted to threaten me with him and his biker buddies, and Chris Kurth wanted to threaten me with him and all of his biker buddies, Cody Kurth did the right fucking thing. Yeah, he rides a motorcycle too. You know, I said a lot of really mean shit about Cody Kurth's family. Well, no, I didn't. Not entirely. I asked if KK taught Chris to be that way. I was so angry. So angry. I shouldn't have to be afraid to walk down the street. I shouldn't have to be afraid of going to somebody's house miles and miles and miles away and having Chris literally stalk me there with the intent of harming me. He didn't do what Tim Beeson did, which is get a hold of me and call me up and threaten to kill my friends and family when I asked for help stopping this shit. He didn't try pretending like he didn't have fucking time for 6 years. Cody Kurth did something immediately. Like, holy shit, this guy is like a fucking Superman in the middle of a fucking sewer, you know? I mean, this guy is a genuinely, he might be a good man. I don't want to say that because all the people that I thought were good men showed me that they weren't. I don't want to jinx this. He understands the you don't talk to the police rule and why. He understands dealing with it as adults. We can deal with this as adults out of court very easily by talking it out, by having an arbiter there. What did Cody Kurth do? He acted as an arbiter. Chris Kurth and I had an impasse. The cops kept abusing me instead of doing their jobs. All right, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. What Christopher Kurth did, well, he'd be in prison still with all the charges that go along with that. You see, when he threatened my life, there were witnesses. Carl Snell is a witness to Chris Kurth threatening my life. So's Sandy Fromm. So is Floyd Stegeman. Chris Stegeman got there a bit too late. But if it weren't for Chris Stegeman showing up when he did, I'd have been stuck out there with Chris Kurth, and I believe his name was Dan. You know, Dan became friends with Chris Kurth over that. Sandy Fromm was not going to have people threatening to kill me or anybody out on her farm unless it was her threatening to kill people. So Dan was told to go away. She was pretty sure he was stealing shit from her. And then what'd he do? He went and fucking stole from Chris Kurth. Karma. But that guy shoved me more than once, backed me into a fucking corner, backed me into 2 different vehicles. Him and Chris Kurth both yelling at me, both ganging up on me. And of course, Floyd Stegeman sitting there like a little bitch. You know, it wasn't 20 minutes before they showed up. Sandy Fromm had put a firearm in my hands just in case her brother showed up. She expected me to do the man thing and protect her from the person she said was her assailant. I'm not even allowed to fucking own a gun, dude. What the hell? But why did she put a gun in my hands? Because she was afraid. Like I have told you, if there's a reason that I need a gun in my hand, somebody will put it there. Now, what could I have done when Chris Kurth got there and started threatening my life? The gun was right on top of the wash machine. If I was this big, mighty fucking psycho you guys want to pretend I am, you know what I would have done instead of what I actually did? That's right. I would have picked up that revolver, and I would have made sure that neither one of those 2 boys ever threatened a grown man again. Make sure that neither one of those 2 boys ever stalk anybody or assault anybody ever again. Why does Cody Kurth still have a brother to talk to? Because I wasn't going to take Sandy Fromm's way of doing it. I don't want Chris Kurth dead. I just want him to not be a fucking asshole. I want him to stop fucking threatening me and fucking harassing me. I mean, seriously, between the entire Dual County fucking Sheriff's Department, Chris Kurth, Carl Snell, Robert Franklin goddamn Warnick, do you guys really think that it was a happy-go-fun fucking time for me to be there? Meanwhile, I was there because that's where the housing was. That's where I was able to get housing. Finally. When Cody Kurth did absolutely nothing, it wasn't his fault. When I went to my friends and family for help stopping the abuse by Natalie and her friends, they blew me off. When I went to my friends and family for help about Christopher Kurth harming me, they blew me off. When I reached out to mutual friends or family in the situation with Natalie Bollinger to try to get help, they blew me off, and Natalie got to pretend that I was stalking her because I asked for help stopping abuse. Did Cody Kurth play victim like that? Did Cody Kurth do the same thing that Natalie did? Did Cody Kurth pretend that he was being stalked because I begged him for help? I didn't have to beg. He didn't make me beg. He did the right thing immediately. Immediately. He didn't fuck around for 6 months or 6 years. He didn't start unnecessary fights or fucking argue with me about it. See, that's the thing. All these youngins that I knew back in the day, everybody knew what a weirdo I was. I'm still a weirdo, but I'm not a sexual predator. I'm just different. Cody Kurth thought it was horrible that I'm treated the way that I am just for being autistic and that people shouldn't do that. And you know what? When he said that he was going to do something about it, it wasn't bullshit. There's a lot of people that I've said are my personal heroes that went on to do some very horrible things. But you know what? I don't take that shit down about them being my heroes. Do you know why? Because at that point in my life, they were. They did do right by me. They may not have been doing right by me this time because of their own selfish stupidity and assumptions. But there's a reason they were my friends. There's a reason that I tried to trust them. In the end, Cody Kurth is the only good person in any of this. Cody Kurth didn't do what Chelsea Aiken did. Cody Kurth didn't hide behind his kids. Cody Kurth didn't say he didn't have time. Cody Kurth didn't pawn me off on 400 other people. Cody Kurth didn't make me post conversations with him on the internet. He didn't make me record our conversations. He shot me straight. I don't mean he literally shot me. I don't want you guys pretending that I'm having a schizophrenic episode and accusing Cody Kurth of shooting me. There's a big difference between being schizophrenic and having a PTSD reaction. You get to see how people treated me over my PTSD. Shea Burton, you get to see hers. How dare I, how dare I, how dare I, how dare I. Her PTSD. How dare I do that to someone with PTSD? Really? Because you looked away from literally thousands of people doing that to me, Shea Burton. You know who didn't do that? Cody Kurth. Cody Kurth didn't do evil shit like that to me. Cody Kurth didn't hide the truth and then play fucking victim when I spoke up. Jesus fucking Christ, why can't Cody Kurth be the fucking sheriff? I mean, that is not a fucking joke. No bullshit. If Cody Kurth were the sheriff, I'm fairly certain that there would be a lot less police corruption. Don't get me wrong. He may say, hey man, if somebody beats on a woman, I do this and I do that. But I believe he understands the power of his station and also the understanding of situation. It is best to find out the truth rather than assume. It is best to go a diplomatic route before marching off to war. I tried the diplomatic route. I did what you're supposed to do. You ask these people to stop. Did I ask Chris Kurth to stop? Yes. Yes, I did, repeatedly. Did I ask his friend Danny to stop? Yes, I did, repeatedly. Did I ask Carl Snell to stop? No, I listened intently to Carl Snell. I didn't even know who he was. I thought he was related to the Frericks family. You know, it's Clint Snell's brother. So when he told me it was Clint Snell, well, I posted up conversations and screenshots with myself and Nicole Knudsen yesterday that show that I'd gone to her about that situation and several others, that I did in fact try to get help. Matter of fact, I tried to get help the right way. The only person who would do it the right way was Cody. Dude, your brother's bullying me. Could you ask him to knock it off? And thank you, Cody. Thank you so much for that. So much. You have no idea how grateful I am for that. Hey, brother, The statute of limitations for the crimes that he committed against me are over. They're over. He cannot get in trouble for those things anymore. Now, a public apology is not too much to ask. Help turning it into the courts is not too much to ask. See, although the abuse by Cody Kurth's brother, Chris, the abuse itself is stopped. The things that I was forced into and have been forced into since have not. The repercussions of that abuse I still live through and endure every day. That's not just the threats, it's the separation from my friends and my loved ones. Now maybe Cody Kurth will get angry because I posted this up. Maybe Cody Kurth will yell at me and scream and play victim. I doubt it, though. I severely doubt it. I'm stuck in public and I can't function because I'm stuck in public. I am afraid every moment of every day because abuse against us is so frequent. But also on my YouTube channel, I do record why it is that we're ignored, how it is that we are treated differently, the things that people will say to you when you need help, but then the rules are magically different the other way. Look at Shea Burton. Wants to use choice words like attack. How about you get specific? Attacking your character, except I'm not attacking your character, I'm telling the truth. What you did, you did. What you didn't, you didn't. If I reached out to you and you pretended that you didn't exist, or pretended that I didn't exist, or wanted to bullshit me and then play victim, well, if you can be angry, you're allowed. Cody has every right to be angry if he wants to be angry about this video. He's allowed. But just so everybody knows, this isn't it's not a fuck you Cody video. It's a thank you Cody video. It's a, this is the example that should have been set. If I'd have gone to Cody not Cody Selhorst, I'm sorry. If I keep saying Cody Selhorst, I'm sorry about that, because Cody Selhorst is a rotten fucking cop. He's the stuttering Stanley that thought he was going to threaten, harass, and intimidate me into leaving town. On more than one occasion, he's also the stuttering Stanley that I had to try to turn stuff into, that after 3 hours, he wrote down 2 sentences for his police report. Well done, Cody Selhorst. Way to help child molesters and rapists and murderers get away, Cody Selhorst. Great police work, Cody Selhorst. Cody Selhorst. Another one of them officers that DaCosta helped to get away. He's in South Dakota now. What a punk. But Cody Kurth, yeah. Cody Kurth was not a punk-ass little bitch about this. He wasn't an aggressive asshole about it. I'm capable of being an aggressive asshole, and I'm sure that he is too. You know, hindsight is 20/20. When I tried to go to Natalie's mom for help stopping the abuse, Natalie's mom didn't give a shit. That's why I exposed the situation on the internet. I tried to get help. I tried to get help stopping the threats, stopping the harassment, stopping the abuse. I tried to get help so that I could go see my support network instead of humdrum through therapy for months and months and months at a time for absolutely nothing. That whole time, I'm having people get a hold of me and threaten me. I can't go and see my loved ones because all my money is going to fucking therapy fucking appointments. I can't even afford gas to go see my loved ones. Meanwhile, it's not safe for me to drive because All that goes through my head is how much I want to die because I missed my loved ones. All that went through my head whenever I'm driving is how much I want my life to end because I have to endure abuse if I try to see my loved ones. If I try to explain it to them, they talk over me and tell me how to think and how to feel. No, this shit isn't a fucking joke. Cody Kurth is a fucking badass, all right? Regardless of what people wanted to tell me when I came to them about Chris Kurth and his buddies and their fucking bullshit. Did you not hear me? It was multiple people threatening to kill me and telling me there's more. The only name I got out of him was Clint Snell as one of the other people who was going to harm me. And thank goodness I did message people when people did this shit. I got a hold of people who pretended they were my friends. I got a hold of people like Nicole Knudsen. That's right, folks. When crimes were committed against me, I always went to somebody. When crimes were committed against children, the elderly, or the disabled, well, last ditch option, if I have to break the law to keep your children safe, I will. Have a nice day. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. You are also your sister's keeper. The example set by Cody Kurth could have saved Natalie's life. It could have saved a lot of people's lives. Matter of fact, the way that Cody Kurth dealt with it, there's step one. You go to your predator and you ask them to stop. Well, if they're in your face threatening you right then and there, you're saying that right then and there. You don't have to pursue them to ask them to stop. When you're being harmed over a rumor and their friends are coming in harming you and they get to sit blissfully away hundreds or thousands of miles, all they had to do was fucking call up a friend. That's bullshit. That is not cool. In those situations, yes, I'm supposed to pursue the information that I need from that person. What am I supposed to do? Go to my predator. This is bullying 101. I'm supposed to go to my predator. If the bully, if it's bullying, then I go to the bully or the source of the bullying. I let him know how it makes me feel and I ask him to stop. You can't let him know how it makes you feel or why, because it's the stop blaming me! Stop blaming me! Every fucking junkie says that, don't they? Every junkie says that. There's repercussions for the lives of others, and it hurts those people physically, financially, socially. And then you want to say, stop blaming me. You can't even hear how people feel about what you've done to them because you are too busy getting butthurt. Because how dare they ever mention what your junkie ass did to them or the fact that they're dealing with consequences. Natalie Bollinger was a fucking junkie. Is Chris Kurth a junkie? I don't know. I fucking barely know him. I barely know Cody. That's why it surprised the fuck out of me so much that Cody not only was willing, but actually put a stop to it. He did what Joanna Taylor Smith should have done. Joanna Taylor Smith should have gone to Maddie Boa and said, hey, you fucking know better. You fucking know better than to be fucking running around falsely accusing people. You fucking know better. Of course, she could have done it a little more diplomatic, But let's look at the response time here between Cody Kurth. I think it probably took a few hours, maybe because he was fucking busy. It took Joanna Taylor Smith a grand total of never. She never tried. Instead, she was abusive. Her boyfriend, Derek Parrish. I didn't even go to him for help because I already knew his content of character. What ended up happening? He ended up fucking assaulting me because I was there to see his girlfriend for help. The assault wasn't over seeing his girlfriend for help. The assault was over him and his girlfriend arguing. They wanted to ask my opinion about something. And my words didn't come out right when I was trying to explain that it's not my business. See, that's something between you two. Your boyfriend and girlfriend shit. That is completely different. Like, I'm not going to take sides in your peddly fucking squabbles. I'm there because I'm trying to get help stopping actual harm against me. Physical assaults. Threats against my life. What did Derek do? He threw a tantrum for 3 goddamn days straight. When I went to Cody Kurth for help, did he tell me it's the wrong jurisdiction? Did he tell me it's not his job? Did he tell me he didn't care? Did he tell me I deserve it? Did he treat me like I was making it up? Did he use a child molester as an excuse to do nothing? Like Amanda DeMette or Amy Witcher or Amy Kleena Kingery. Or my little sister. I know I get on here and I talk about how crappy most of these people are. Well, they are crappy. Now, Chris Kurth is going to probably have an attitude, at least a little bit, about the situation. That's all right. He'll probably say, I don't care. Or I don't care. Of course, those do mean a little bit different because they have different tone to them. Not much. But both of them are also notes that denote they do care. Did Cody Kurth pretend that he cared about shit that he didn't? No. Did he pretend he didn't care about shit that he actually did? No. He wanted the fucking conflict resolved. He did what the police should have done. He did what Rose M. Kelly should have done. He did what Danica Garner should have done. And Rochelle Shelley Campbell should have done. He did what Maddie Bowe should have done. What Brenda Dickinson should have done. What Christine Buhit should have done. What Brittany Enwall should have done. What Jamie Curtis should have done. Thank you, Cody. I hope that the actions that I have been forced to are not used in any way to reflect against you and your person. I am ever so grateful that you exist. And I know that you'll do your best to keep your family safe. I know that if people threaten to kill you and your family, that you are well armed and that you have plenty of not only moral but also physical and firearm support. I support your Second Amendment right because you You, Cody Kurth, you used the First Amendment. You utilized the First Amendment. Between trying the First Amendment first and pulling out guns, you chose the First Amendment. Thank you so much for that. Seriously, Cody. Seriously.